Hello, EctoSage here on the Sage channel. Let's sleep, art, game, and eat, and I thought today I'd show off my deep space exploration ship, which this isn't. This is just a buggy I just built to get around. Deep space exploration ship is that thing over there. I built this actually before the game was officially released, so not yesterday, but the day before. Now that the game's out, I figure it's still an alpha, but you know, let's just show this ship off. I haven't painted it because I couldn't really figure out what colors I wanted to stick on the dang thing. What else? It's huge. It's got refineries on the inside of it. It's got its lovely big engines here on the back, and actually behind these engines there's more engines to basically make these have uber thrust. What else do we have? The tower on the top there is obviously the bridge. I say obviously because it makes sense. Those little tiny divots going in front of the little ship I'm in right now are actually docking areas, and one of them leads to a container because I figure one day, you know, ideally you'd be able to mine stuff and drop it off in there, and then that connects actually to the refineries, which then connect to another storage, which then connect to a building thing. So let's just take a spin around this really quick, and then I'm going to go inside and show you guys around the interior of this big ship. And it is a big one. It took me a fair few hours to build. Let's just buzz around to the side. You can see that the inside of it is actually just a big hallway with rooms off to the sides. And let's turn the ship around to slow us down and get into the hangar. Now, I'm pretty sure that there's no docking things yet, even though they have landing gears. I'm pretty sure they don't actually stick. So if we move the ship, the big ship, this little one's gonna get trashed, so I'm gonna have to park it just outside. Right here, I think will do. Okay, now let's go inside. And here we go, we have the hangar bay 1 of 2. There's actually another one on the other side, and once they do get like magnetic docking things, I'll be able to actually park the little ships in these. But as for right now, I'm just gonna have to leave it outside and leave it behind. What do we have? Here is the main hall. Down that way is mainly like engineering and the bridge. Down that way is sort of civilian stuff. So I think there's nothing, yeah, right here in the main hallway. So let's actually go this way. First up, we have lights directly on either side and above to any room. And this is sort of like the medical area. There's not really any props, but I'd ideally have like chairs and stuff. And in here we do have like the respawn station, which can access, and an emergency reactor to keep this all going even if the ship's broken into pieces. On this other side here, across the hall, same exact thing, except for that's turned slightly different, but whatever. And then if we come back out into the, oh, by the way, we have a skylight too, which I hope in a future patch that these windows, as they're called, will actually be windows, and you can have pressurized interior rooms. I'm really looking forward to that idea. You might see a bit of frame rate drop here with all the lights. Game's not too happy with that. They did today release a small add-on you can do to allow the game to use more RAM, and I have installed that, but so far it doesn't seem to have helped much, but maybe it'll allow me to keep building on some of my other mega structures that before told me they ran out of memory. Here's another reactor with these stabilizing things in the front half of the ship. Basically, I wanted to be able to have it so the back end of the ship could be destroyed or ripped off from the front half, and at least this part of the ship wouldn't spin out of control. I did find it drift, so if that happens. Here we've reached, by the way, on this side it was the same thing. If you come down here, there's actually 3 of these big hallways as we go down. See? 1, 2, 3. And if we run down into them, to the left side of each one is where I would call the barracks, where if they ever put beds and stuff, or sleeping quarters, I'd have, you know, tons of sleeping quarters stuff in here. And of course you got your nice view again, and actually that view there leads into the hallway. And that basically is repeated down each one of these corridors here, the same thing. So hopefully one day they'll put beds or something in, that way I can at least make it seem a bit more shippy. Yeah, and we got nice windows along the side here. You can see one of those engines sticking out the side. What do we have? Let's go back into the main hallway. Same thing on this side of the ship. So it's basically got 6 of those big sleeping quarter rooms. If we look in these windows, what was in here? Oh, that's just another one of the sleeping quarter rooms, as you can see from the inside of the main hall. And if we come down here, this is basically a docking. Oh, game saving. I should have disabled that. If we come down here, this is basically an airlock, and out the airlock is sort of just the docking cowling. So if a big ship wants to come up and dock, this is a spot where it could dock. Oh, and those are the hallways I was just running in, besides the sleeping quarters. And actually, if we come on top, you can see these vents or windows here are actually the sleeping quarters themselves, and this one here is the hallway that connects them. Let's get back inside the ship. No need to be drifting about everywhere out here. That window there, we're actually about to go in there. That was what I was calling the mess hall, which is where, you know, you'd eat. So let's run in here, hop it scotched about here, or up this lovely ramp. I actually have 3 ramps. I want this to be a very open room because it would be where people kind of just go and hang out. And it's got its nice windows here. I really like this room. I even slanted the roof there. Obviously, it's not interior paneling or whatever. That's actually exterior stuff. But sometimes, you know, you just don't have to double up everything with interior walls and exterior walls. Same thing on the side, obviously. And then we can head up here. There's nothing else to the sides, if I remember correctly, but it does lead up to the very front of the ship. Now let's head all the way down to engineering now. So we have to make this long run all the way down here. If you're actually looking up at some point here, once we get near the back, you'll see that the, there we go, that was it. These sort of are, you know, there's a bump in there, whereas these don't have that bump in. And that sort of switches back and forth at some points, and sometimes it'll actually be filled in, yeah, like here, because this is where this leads up to, yeah, the hangar. And the hangar's so tall it actually fills in some of that area. Oh, I've missed my stairs. Let's see. Shame we don't have like force fields for the hangars or something, but that would be cool. This is actually like a small bridgeway that directly connects that half of the ship to the back half of the ship, which originally was just a bridgeway, but if you look out the windows, you can see I've added structural supports, and actually above I have a bunch of structural support stuff. Because one of my first crash tests with the ship, it just split in half. And that was before I had those reactors and stabilizers and stuff down there, so that part just went flying away. It was terrible. Now, if you come over here, you got the original gyroscopes. And got a bunch of those on this side of the ship. If we come down this hallway, same thing over here. This area here actually is sort of the main hall for the back of the ship. And these stairwells go up to the bridge. We'll just go show you that because there's not much up there. You got sort of this nice back view. We can see the engines, the communication arrays a little bit. And then we come all the way up to the bridge, which is ridiculously empty right now. Not even lights, but whatever. Why not? I'll show you this for a minute. You can take a good look at the whole ship. The bottom of it's a bit plain, but I don't know. You start reaching a point where you're like, well, I don't know quite what else to add. This camera actually won't go out all the way, so I can't actually see the front of the ship, but I can. Whoa! Oh, look at me! Oh, look at me! Hold on. No, 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 no. Look! Oh. Look at me! That looks ridiculous. But yeah, there we go. We can look at the front of the ship. It's a pretty big ship. It's very slow and cumbersome. Even if I try to turn it, it turns relatively quick, I guess, for such a mega ship. But it does take a while, and if I try to move it, it takes a long time. And I'm not trying to turn it anymore. It's just doing that on its own now. So yeah, gotta be careful with it. So let's continue our tour through this place. Let's head down to, let's finish off the center floor, and then we'll head down to the lower floors. So if we come this way, basically the left and the right side of the ship are mirrored, so I'm only going to show you one side of the ship. We have the reactors on this floor. So we got that big reactor there. If we come down this hall, we got sort of like an overview or lookout place, which I actually like an awful lot. If we come down here, another reactor, another overlook area, and yet another reactor. Oh, and another overlook, and then this room again. And so obviously down that hallway, if you take a left, it's all the same down there. So the ship has 6 reactors in it. Now if we go downstairs, there is nothing in this hallway. No, except for backup. So, okay, and then it's mirrored down here as well. So we have another reactor. Oh yeah, this is one of the small docking things down here, as you can see. There's another docking thing there, which I'll run to in a second. Yep. Oh, another reactor, and then the other docking thing. Another reactor, so what was it, 6, 18 reactors on this whole ship? And then the storage here. Now the storage container obviously can't access it, but this one, from the outside of the ship, you can actually access this. So my idea was if you were mining an asteroid or something, you could you grab your materials, come over here, and then access this to drop it off. And then actually, there's something called conveyors, and I believe they're going to work like pipes and sort of like Minecraft Tech It or whatever. And ignore that. And above the large storage thing here, actually in the roof, there you go, you can see them there as we get another save screen. Really should have disabled that. The conveyor is hooked up to one of these little doors on the side, and it goes up over the hallway and into this large room here, and you can see it comes out of the wall, yeah, I think directly into here. And this is connected to a door on this big refinery machine here. Now, the same goes for the other side because the ship is symmetrical. So there's one over there, comes out over, and then connects in here, and they're both connected together just in case maybe they need to share supplies between the refineries or something. I'm not sure how it's all going to work yet, so future-proofing. And then out of this refinery comes another conveyor, which then connects into this big storage container here, and also connects into the assembler. So I'm assuming, you know, we'll take mined materials from outer space in there, it'll get pumped into the refinery, and then get pumped out either into storage or into the assembler right away to be used. And I'm assuming this assembler will also pull from that large storage container. Okay, so you've seen pretty much everything down here on the bottom of the ship. Actually, I think you have seen everything. When I said ignore that, that was just the other side of the refined material storage container. So, okay, let's see. Let's get back up to the bridge of the ship. And I'm actually going to do what everyone probably really wants me to do with a big ship like this, which is crash it.